everyone, and welcome back to Love English Lab. I am Megan, and today I am here with Luna for a very practical lesson. We are going to talk about how to answer any question in English.
Hi everyone, I am Luna. We are happy you joined us. Many learners can understand English questions, but when it is time to answer, they freeze. Their mind goes blank and they feel nervous.
Yes, this is very common. Students often tell us, "I knew the words, but I did not know how to answer." Or, "I was thinking too much about grammar." The result is silence, and that silence makes them feel even more nervous.
That is why today's lesson is important. We will show you simple ways to answer any question, even when you are not sure. You do not need perfect grammar. You do not need long sentences. You only need a clear plan.
Exactly. Think of it like a toolbox. When someone asks you a question, you can open the box and choose one of the simple tools we teach you. That way, you will always have something to say.
During this lesson, we will move step by step. First, we will look at why questions feel difficult for many learners. Then, we will show you basic structures that work for almost any question.
After that, we will teach you how to expand your answers. Sometimes one word is not enough. You can give more detail, add a reason, or share a short example. That makes your English sound natural.
Later, we will also explain what to do when you do not understand the question. This is very important. Many students stay quiet when they do not understand, but we will give you easy phrases to use in those moments.
And finally, we will show you how to practice in real life. We will share examples from travel, work, school, and daily conversations. That way, you will be ready for any situation.
Remember, the goal is not to give the perfect answer. The goal is to keep the conversation alive. If you can give a simple, clear answer, you are successful.
Yes, and the more you practice, the easier it will become. At first you may feel slow, but soon the answers will come faster.
So stay with us. By the end of this lesson, you will know how to answer any question in English with confidence.
Let us begin with the first chapter, Why Questions Feel Difficult. In this first chapter, we want to understand why questions feel so difficult for many English learners. Because if we know the reasons, we can find the solutions.
Yes, many students tell us, I can study grammar, I can learn vocabulary, but when someone asks me a question, I freeze. This reaction is very common.
One reason is nerves. When you hear a question, you feel pressure. You think, I must answer quickly. That pressure makes your brain go blank.
Yes, you know the words, but stress blocks them. You start thinking, what if I make a mistake? What if I sound silly and then you say nothing?
Another reason is vocabulary. Sometimes you do not know one or two words in the question. Because of that, you panic and think, I cannot answer. But often you can still answer with the words you already know.
Exactly. You don't need a perfect answer. If someone asks, what is your favorite cuisine? And you don't know cuisine, you can say, sorry, what does cuisine mean? Do you mean type of food? I like Italian food.
That is a great example. The question may be complex, but the answer can be simple.
Another reason questions feel difficult is grammar. Many learners think too much about grammar rules. They want the answer to be perfect before they speak.
Yes, and while you think about rules, the conversation moves on. The native speaker is waiting, and you feel more nervous.
That is why we say, do not aim for perfect grammar in your first answer. Just say something. You can always correct or expand later.
Another problem is speed. Native speakers ask questions quickly, sometimes with reductions. For example, what you gonna do tonight sounds very different from what are you going to do tonight?
Yes, and when you hear the fast version, you may not even recognize the words. That shock makes answering harder.
But the solution is not to panic. Even if you only understand one or two words, you can guess the meaning from context.
Another difficulty is cultural. In some countries, people do not ask many personal questions. But in English-speaking cultures, it is normal to ask, where are you from? What do you do? What are your hobbies? Learners may feel surprised or uncomfortable.
That is true. If you are not used to those questions, you need time to prepare. But once you know the common ones, it becomes easier.
So to summarize, questions feel difficult because of nerves, lack of vocabulary, grammar pressure, fast speed, and cultural surprises.
Yes, but now that we know the reasons, we can create strategies. The first strategy is to stay calm. Take a short breath before answering. You do not need to speak instantly.
The second strategy is to use the words you already know. Do not worry if you do not understand one big word. Focus on the part you understand.
The third strategy is to forget about perfect grammar. Your goal is communication, not perfection.
The fourth strategy is to practice listening to fast questions. The more you hear them, the less shocking they will feel.
And the fifth strategy is to prepare for common questions. If you know what people usually ask, you can prepare answers in advance.
Yes, like an interview. Before the interview, you practice. Then you feel ready. Real life is the same. If you practice answering, "What do you do?" or "What are your hobbies?" you won't feel surprised.
Let us give a short example. Luna, ask me a question that may feel difficult.
Okay. What do you usually do on weekends?
If I panic, I might think, what is usually? How should I answer? I do not know. But if I relax, I can say simply, I usually stay home, watch movies, or meet friends. That is clear and enough.
Yes, and notice that the answer does not need advanced words. Simple is good.
So the key idea of this chapter is, questions are difficult because of pressure, not because you cannot answer. If you remove the pressure, answers will come more easily.
Exactly. And in the next chapter, we will show you simple frameworks. With these frameworks, you will always have something to say, even if your mind feels empty.
Now that we know why questions feel difficult, let us make things easier. In this chapter, we will show you simple frameworks you can use to answer almost any question in English.
Yes, a framework is like a small pattern. When someone asks you something, you can use the pattern to give a clear answer, even if you do not have many words.
The first framework is opinion plus reason. If someone asks, what is your favorite subject at school? You can answer, my favorite subject is English, because I like learning languages.
Exactly. The opinion is English, and the reason is because I like learning languages. This two-part answer works for many questions.
Let us try another one. What is your favorite sport? Answer, my favorite sport is basketball because I like playing with friends.
That is clear, simple, and natural.
The second framework is fact plus detail. If someone asks, where are you from? You can answer, I am from Mexico. It is a big country with many traditions.
Yes, the fact is, I am from Mexico. The detail is, it is a big country with many traditions. That gives a longer answer without much effort.
Another example, what do you do on weekends? Answer, on weekends I usually relax. Sometimes I meet my friends or watch movies.
Perfect. That gives more than one word, but it is still simple.
The third framework is yes or no plus example. For example, do you like cooking? You can say, yes, I like cooking. I often make pasta for dinner. Or, no, I do not like cooking. I usually order food instead.
This works well for any yes or no question. Do not stop with only yes or no. Add a short example. That makes your answer complete.
The fourth framework is time plus activity. If someone asks, what did you do yesterday? Answer, yesterday I studied English for 2 hours. Or, yesterday I went shopping with my family.
That is easy because you can always say when plus what. Time plus activity makes the answer sound full.
The fifth framework is place plus action. For example, where do you usually study? Answer, I usually study at the library. I read books and use my laptop there.
Another example, where do you usually go shopping? Answer, I go shopping at the supermarket near my house.
Good. That is short but clear.
Learners sometimes think they need a very long answer, but even one sentence with opinion plus reason or fact plus detail is enough.
Yes, because the goal is communication, not writing an essay. In conversation, 1 or 2 clear sentences are perfect.
Let us model a small role play. Megan, ask me a few questions and I will use the frameworks.
Okay, what is your favorite food?
My favorite food is sushi because it tastes fresh and delicious.
Where do you usually go on holidays?
I usually go to the beach. I like swimming and relaxing there.
Do you enjoy reading?
Yes, I enjoy reading. I often read novels before bed.
See how easy it is.
Yes, and notice that the answers are not long. They are short but complete.
Another tip is to prepare 1 or 2 answers for common questions in advance. For example, what do you do? Where are you from? What are your hobbies? If you have ready answers, you will feel confident.
Yes, it is like carrying small cards in your pocket. You know what to say.
To close this chapter, let us give the frame. Framework 1, opinion plus reason. Framework 2, fact plus detail. Framework 3, yes or no plus example. Framework 4, time plus activity. Framework 5, place plus action.
With these frameworks, you can answer almost any question. You will not stay silent because you always have a simple pattern to follow.
In the next chapter, we will go further. We will show you how to expand your answers so you do not sound too short. Adding details will make your English more natural and interesting. In the last chapter, we learned simple frameworks to answer any question. But sometimes, a short answer is not enough. If you only say yes or no, or give one word, the conversation may stop.
Yes, and that is why expanding your answer is important. Expanding means adding a little more detail. You do not need a long speech. Just 1 or 2 extra sentences make your English sound more natural.
Let us look at a simple example. Question: do you like music? A short answer is, yes, I do. That is correct, but too short. If you expand, you can say, yes, I like music. I often listen to pop songs when I study.
That answer is better because it gives more information. The other person can continue the conversation. They might ask, what singers do you like?
Exactly. So how can you expand your answer? There are 3 easy ways. Give a reason, give an example, or share an experience.
Let us practice the first one. Give a reason. Question: what is your favorite sport? Short answer: my favorite sport is football. Expanded answer: my favorite sport is football because it is exciting and I can play with friends.
Good. The reason, because it is exciting and I can play with friends, makes the answer more interesting.
The second way is to give an example. Question: what is your favorite subject at school? Short answer: my favorite subject is English. Expanded answer: my favorite subject is English. For example, I enjoy reading stories and learning new words.
Perfect. The example shows what you do in that subject.
The third way is to share an experience. Question: where do you usually go on holidays? Short answer: I usually go to the beach. Expanded answer: I usually go to the beach. Last year I went with my family, and we had a great time swimming and eating seafood.
That sounds much better. With one short memory, the answer feels alive.
Let us try a role play with expanding. Megan, ask me a few questions.
Okay, what did you do last weekend?
Last weekend I stayed home. I watched a new movie on Netflix and cooked dinner for my family.
Very good. You gave details about the movie and the dinner. Now another one. Who is your favorite singer?
My favorite singer is Taylor Swift. I like her songs because they tell stories. Last year I went to a concert, and it was amazing.
That is an excellent expanded answer. You used all 3 methods: a reason, an example, and an experience.
Learners sometimes ask, how long should my answers be? The truth is, 1 or 2 sentences is enough. You do not need a long explanation. Just add a little more than 1 word.
Yes, think of it like a sandwich. The first part is the main answer. The second part is a reason, an example, or an experience. Together, they make the answer complete.
Another way to expand is to compare. For example, if someone asks, do you like summer? You can say, yes, I like summer because it is warm and sunny, but sometimes it is too hot. I also enjoy spring.
That is very good. Comparing shows more thought. It makes the answer longer without being complicated.
Another trick is to use connecting words. Words like because, but, and also, for example. These words help you join ideas.
Yes, connecting words make your answer flow. For example, I enjoy reading books because they help me relax, and sometimes I read before bed.
That is smooth and natural.
To close this chapter, let us give the frame. Step 1. Answer the question simply. Step 2. Expand by giving a reason, an example, or an experience. Step 3. Use connecting words to make your answer flow. Step 4. Remember that 1 or 2 extra sentences is enough.
With these steps, your answers will not feel too short. You will sound more confident, and the conversation will continue naturally.
In the next chapter, we will talk about what to do when you do not understand the question. That situation is scary, but we will give you useful phrases to manage it with confidence. In this chapter, we will talk about one of the most difficult situations for learners. When you do not understand the question.
Yes, this is very common. Maybe the other person speaks too fast. Maybe they use a new word. Maybe the accent is different. Suddenly you feel lost, and you do not know what to do.
Many students think silence is the only option. They just smile or say nothing. But silence stops the conversation. The good news is, you can manage this situation with simple phrases.
The first phrase is, "Could you repeat that, please?" This is polite and natural. You ask the person to say the question again, maybe slower.
Yes, for example, if someone asks, "What you gonna do this weekend?" and you do not understand, you can say, "Could you repeat that, please?" Then the speaker will usually say it more clearly.
The second phrase is, "Could you say that more slowly?" This is useful if the problem is speed. Many natives speak fast, but if you ask politely, they can slow down.
A third phrase is, "Do you mean?" This is good if you understood part of the question but not all. You can guess the meaning and check. For example, if someone asks, "How often do you commute?" and you only understand how often, you can say, "Do you mean how often I go to work?"
That is perfect because it shows you are trying. Even if your guess is not correct, the speaker will explain again.
Another useful phrase is, "I'm not sure, but I think you asked." Then you give your guess. This is polite and shows confidence, even if you are not 100% sure.
Yes, for example, "I'm not sure, but I think you asked what my hobbies are. I like reading." Even if the original question was slightly different, you still answered.
Learners often forget that it is okay to ask for clarification. Native speakers do this too. Even in English, people say, "Sorry, what did you say?" Or, "Can you repeat that?" It is normal.
Exactly. You do not look weak. You look polite and careful.
Another tip is to focus on key words. Even if you miss part of the question, the key words give you enough information.
For example, if someone says, blah, 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 weekend plans, you can answer with your weekend plans. You may not catch every word, but the key idea is clear.
Yes, and the other person will usually understand and continue the conversation.
Let us model a short role play. Megan, ask me a fast question.
Okay, what you gonna do after class?
Could you repeat that, please?
Sure. What are you gonna do after class?
Okay. I am going to study in the library.
Perfect. That is how you use the phrase.
Another role play. Megan, ask me something with a new word.
How often do you commute?
Do you mean how often I go to work?
Yes, exactly.
Okay, I go to work 5 days a week.
Great. You see how easy it is when you ask.
Another thing to remember is body language. If you look confused, the speaker will often repeat without you asking. So do not hide your confusion.
Yes, a small smile and a polite request is enough. Do not panic.
To close this chapter, let us give the frame. Step 1, ask for repetition with, "Could you repeat that, please?" Step 2, ask for slower speech with, "Could you say that more slowly?" Step 3, check meaning with, "Do you mean?" Step 4, guess politely with, "I'm not sure, but I think you asked." Step 5, focus on key words if you miss details.
With these tools, you will never feel lost again. You can always keep the conversation alive, even if the question is difficult.
In the next chapter, we will show you how to practice answering questions in real life. This is the best way to become confident and ready for any situation.
talked about why questions are difficult, the simple frameworks, how to expand your answers, and what to do if you do not understand the question. Now let us move to the final step. Practice in real life.
Yes, because theory is not enough. You need to practice answering questions in real situations. The more you practice, the more natural it becomes.
The first place to practice is the classroom. When your teacher asks you a question, use the frameworks we taught. Do not give only one-word answers. Add a reason, an example, or an experience.
For example, if the teacher asks, "What did you do yesterday?" do not just say, "I studied." Say, "I studied English for 2 hours, and then I watched a movie with my sister."
That answer is clear, and it gives your teacher more to continue the conversation.
Another place to practice is at work. Imagine your boss or colleague asks, "Can you finish this project today?" Do not only say, "Yes," you can say, "Yes, I can finish it today." I already completed half this morning.
Or if the answer is no, you can say, "No, I cannot finish it today. I need more time, but I will finish tomorrow." That way, your answer is polite and informative.
Travel is another great chance to practice. When you visit another country, people ask questions all the time. Where are you from? How long are you staying? Do you like our city? These are perfect moments to use your frameworks.
Yes, and even small conversations help. If a shop assistant asks, "Do you want a bag?" do not only say yes. Say, "Yes, please, I need a bag for the milk." That gives you practice with natural sentences.
Another way to practice is to create a mini interview with a friend. Ask each other questions like, "What do you usually eat for breakfast? Do you prefer summer or winter? What is your favorite movie?" Practice answering with frameworks and expanded details.
You can also record yourself. Choose 10 common questions and record your answers. For example, where are you from? What do you do? What are your hobbies? Listen to your recording and check if your answers sound clear.
That is a very good exercise because you hear your own mistakes and you can try again.
Another idea is to practice online. There are many apps and websites where you can talk with people in English. You can practice answering questions with real partners.
Yes, and even if you feel shy, remember that everyone is learning. Mistakes are normal. The important part is practice.
Let us model a short interview. Luna, I will ask you a few real-life questions, and you answer with expanded sentences.
Okay, let us try.
Where are you from?
I am from Spain. It is a beautiful country with many traditions, and I live in Madrid.
What do you usually do on weekends?
On weekends, I usually spend time with friends. Sometimes we go to a cafe or we walk in the park, and sometimes we watch movies together.
Do you enjoy learning English?
Yes, I enjoy learning English. It helps me travel more easily, and I can talk to people from different countries.
Excellent. Your answers are not too short, and they give me more to continue the conversation.
Exactly. That is the goal. Even simple answers can be expanded to sound more natural.
To close this chapter, let us give the frame. Step 1. Practice in class with your teacher. Step 2. Practice at work with colleagues. Step 3. Practice during travel in shops or with locals. Step 4. Create interviews with friends. Step 5. Record yourself answering common questions. Step 6. Practice online with real people.
With these steps, you will train your brain to answer questions automatically. You will not freeze. You will feel more confident every time someone asks you something in English.
In the final closing, we will review all 5 chapters and give you one last message of encouragement. We have now reached the end of our lesson about how to answer any question in English. Let us take a moment to review everything we learned together.
Yes, because answering questions in English is not about magic. It is about simple steps, confidence, and practice. When you follow these steps, you can speak more easily in any situation.
In Chapter 1, we talked about why questions feel difficult. We saw that nerves, vocabulary, grammar pressure, and speed often block learners. But we also saw that the real problem is not ability, it is confidence.
In Chapter 2, we introduced simple frameworks. opinion plus reason, fact plus detail, yes or no plus example, time plus activity, place plus action. These small patterns give you a ready tool for almost every question.
In Chapter 3, we explained how to expand your answer. Adding a reason, an example, or an experience makes your answers sound natural. Even one or two extra sentences are enough to continue the conversation.
In Chapter 4, we showed what to do when you do not understand the question. We practiced useful phrases like, "Could you repeat that, please? Could you say that more slowly? Do you mean?" And "I'm not sure, but I think you asked." These phrases keep the conversation alive, even if you feel lost.
And in Chapter 5, we moved to real-life practice. We talked about using classrooms, work, travel, friends, recordings, and online exchanges as opportunities to train. Every question is a chance to grow.
When you put all these parts together, you have a complete system. First, stay calm and listen. Second, use a simple framework. Third, expand with one detail. Fourth, ask for clarification if needed. Fifth, practice every day in real life.
Yes, and the most important message is, you do not need perfect English. You only need clear English. One clear sentence is always better than silence.
Remember, questions are not tests. They are invitations to connect. If you can answer with confidence, even with simple words, you are already successful.
And with time, you will become faster and more natural. What feels difficult today will feel easy tomorrow.
So our advice is to start small. Choose 3 or 4 common questions and practice your answers. Then add more with time.
Yes, and keep practicing with real people whenever possible. Even short conversations in a shop or online are valuable.
We hope this lesson gave you both strategies and motivation. You can answer any question in English. You only need practice and courage.
Thank you for joining us today at Love English Lab. We are proud to support your learning journey.
Keep speaking, keep answering, and keep believing in your progress.
Until next time, goodbye and take care.
Goodbye, everyone, and see you in the next lesson.